who have created some really powerful team cultures, which is how we're all here together this week. The word leader literally means the person who comes first or the person in charge, but I know that that's not what we're all about, right? We're made up of something a little bit different than that. Leaders are the ones who inspire greatness. Even when we maybe don't really know what we're doing when we're first getting started as a brand new coach ourselves, just hustling our way to Success Club and Diamond, right? It's all of the little things that add up, though, when we don't even really realize that we're doing it. And those are the things that add up to the team that feels more like a family. People don't buy the what, they buy the why. I love that quote by Simon Sinek because it's so true, and it's just that. Culture starts from the very beginning, before that new coach even signs up with us, all the way until the time that they're with us at their first leadership retreat, too. That's what gets them started. It's the culture that gets them started and what keeps them going when they experience those first little bumps in the road themselves. We can't promise any kind of salary, any kind of paycheck, although the paychecks are quite nice, we can't make any promises, right? It's that culture, though, it's that connection to that inside-out focus that keeps us all centered together as a team. So even when we have doubts about our own abilities and our strengths, we all do, right? We lead. We show up, we continue to grow, work on ourselves, show our own achievements and that they're attainable for everybody else within our organization. Because we aren't the boss of the team. It's not what it's about. We're not the best on the team. We're equals with our teammates. It's about the whole all together. We're side by side with our coaches. As a brand new coach just 3 years ago, almost to the day, I don't even think I really understood the concept of team culture. It wasn't really on my radar as a goal. But it's those little things, right? It's those little things that all add up to the big picture. And we're not qualified. We're all just regular people just trying to figure it out. But we're called. And sometimes with that comes a great deal of responsibility. And sometimes that responsibility can carry a little bit of weight. But we reap what we sow as leaders. So with that responsibility, it can become kind of heavy, feel like we have the weight of the world, right? And so sometimes that feels a little bit lonely, like we maybe don't know where to go, we don't know who to talk to about complaints, customer service, compliance, all those things. But it's that attitude and outlook that we bring to our team pages. I like to think of that brand new coach on day one just coming to our team page, and what are they seeing? So you have to really stop and ask yourself, what are they seeing? It's that culture from the day that they get started that they're seeing in that team page. And if they're just seeing a wall full of complaints about fulfillment issues and things like that, that's not culture, that's not what it's about, that's not what we're about. We teach what's tolerated and what's not. We pass that on because then that's what gets passed on to their teams and their coaches. Turning everything into a teaching moment. And also having those really open group discussions. Team calls are great, but I love the face-to-face of Zoom, right? Isn't Zoom amazing? I love using Zoom, and not just talking on a topic, we can do that all day long, but asking for input. They feed on feeling valued, that their opinion really counts. Our coaches are leaders from the very beginning, just like we were, but that has to be cultivated and really empowered within them. The way we treat our coaches is how they go on to treat their coaches as well. And at the end of the day, we choose each other. We're friends, right? I look around this room and I've seen some of you for years, and I look at my team and I think, we're gonna be together for as long as this thing rides out, hopefully a long, long time. 20 years from now, we're gonna be at these leadership retreats with our grown kids, and it's gonna be like family reunions. I love that. That's the culture. That's what people are connected to. And at the end of the day, it's not that serious. None of this is that serious. This is fun. We're friends. It doesn't have to be business first. It's friends first. On those character building days when I need a little bit of extra personal development, one of my favorite videos that I stumbled upon is one by Gary Vaynerchuk. You guys might know this one. Hard Work and Patience. And if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's amazing. And I thought, listening to him talk about playing the long game and how he loved the struggle, I thought, that's it. That's what we're doing. That's totally what we've been doing this whole time. There's lots of time for celebration and recognition. We love all of that, but it's never getting too comfy, never getting complacent in that achievement and those successes. It's always moving. And that's how we empower our coaches to continue to move. If they see us stop and get comfortable when we hit 10-star, 15-star, or even with simple things like Success Club, we all wake up with a clean slate on the first of the month. And so letting them see that we're right there with them. It's not that we're with them, but they're with us, right? We're rising them up, letting them shine, letting them see that they're just like us. And we love that. We love that climb. I know all of us in this room, we find something really powerful in that climb for that next step. We want more. So we don't want our team to see us get complacent. It's that hustle culture. That's part of the team culture too. And there can come a gut check with that too, right? We have days where we're like, I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at in this business right now. Might not need to work so hard. So it's that gut check moment. Are we moving? Are we advancing? Do we have goals that are current? And leaders aren't perfect. We don't have to be. And we need to show that. When I came back from a trip in July, we were all at Summit together. Took our kids to Disneyland. We took a family trip to my grandparents' lake house in Wisconsin. It was so great. Completely off the grid, unplugged, like 5 days of just peace and quiet. Checked in with my team, did what I needed to do, but totally off the grid. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but when we come back from trips, sometimes we're like, everything's ruined, my coaches are quitting, everything's falling apart. Takes a couple of days, and I came back from that trip to the lake, and I thought, I'm just gonna hide. I hid out for a couple of days, and I thought, I don't even know what I'm doing. I told some of my leaders, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I feel like a brand new diamond coach. And I thought, that's it. They need to see that we're human, we're not perfect. And so I got on a Zoom with them and just poured my heart out to my team, and I said, we don't know what we're doing right now, but we're gonna figure it out, and this is what we're gonna do. It's about that course correct. Showing that we are perfect. We can show up and say, hey, I'm not my best right now, but I'm going to be better, and this is what I'm going to do, and these are the steps that I'm taking. Recognition is such a huge part of our job, right? Social media is a huge part of recognition, and I love that it's like free advertisement for what we do as coaches. It really helps our brand new coaches, their networks, see what they're doing. And so we get to give them shout outs, and that feels really good. But one thing that I found that works really well for our team is to keep it really universal. People outside of our little coach world don't know what Emerald means. They don't know what Success Club means. So terms like the 3 Lives Club, or helping people, sponsoring new coaches, things like that, those are more universal terms that are a little bit more relatable. And showing the meaning, because like I said, that culture starts from the very beginning, even before that coach signs up. So it's important to show the meaning of those advancements and what's behind the recognition that really counts, that connects people to the culture. And one thing that really grew like wildfire within our team is those diamond Zooms, creating something really special for top performers. We said, hey, you're halfway to diamond, get on our Zoom call. It's really fun. You're up, your time to shine. And that grew like wildfire. People wanted to be a part of that. It's a leadership culture. It's creating those leaders within the organization. It's a really powerful thing when people realize that they can do it. They're that close. And always showing what's next. Okay? What comes after diamond? Star diamond. Using the sponsorship drill down to really show, this is what I'm looking at. When I'm looking down in my downline, I'm seeing that this person's halfway to diamond, just like you were. And now I can talk to you about your coach being halfway to diamond. Those are those conversations that we like to have that keep people moving, really encouraging that movement within the organization. Empowerment comes from recognition. And encouraging that steady movement is how we as a team have created over 200 diamonds in 2.5 to 3 years. I don't know if that's a lot. I don't know if that's not a lot. I don't think that was really our motive. It just kind of happened. We're really proud of that though. All these people over here. And that fine line between branding your team and branding your coaches like cattle. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but keeping it really universal goes hand in hand with empowerment as well. One of the things that works for us a lot is using blank documents, not having team names on things, because I want my leaders to be able to step out. I know what it's like. That very first leader steps up and says, hey, I think I want to start my own team page, and what do you think about this team name? And you're like, oh, why don't you want to stay with me forever and ever and ever and ever? But there's no growth in that comfy nest. Only so much growth, at least. And so if we're not encouraging that growth and that ability to step out and empower them, they're never going to be here with us at leadership, and that's really what we want ultimately. So encouraging it to be a blank canvas is something that's been really powerful for us. So welcoming that branching out. And sometimes what happens is you have to check the ego. I know we're all human, and so we have that thing inside of us that says, well, if they branch out, then that means that they don't need me anymore. But giving them wings, letting them know that they always have roots, is something so powerful. One of the really beautiful things that comes from empowerment is that moment where the teacher becomes the student. And I know Michelle talked a little bit about that. They're not only your equals now, but maybe they've surpassed you on some levels of success. You have to kind of step back and go, wow, okay, that's a new feeling. It's humbling, but it feels good to know that you really, really helped that coach be a part of that growth. And that we can step back and actually learn from our coaches. I feel like I get schooled every single day by the leaders on my team, and it's a really neat thing. It comes from that hustle culture and that culture that was created on day one. Everyone gets a chance to shine. It's not about one person being the best, the top of the team, the boss of the team. There's not really room for one person to be the best. I'm better when my team's better. I'm better when they shine. That's what culture is really all about. So those different strengths and perspectives that we can all learn from, all of the stories where we can say, hey, you should share your story. You should share your story. We've all got different backgrounds. It doesn't mean that we all have to see eye to eye. We're all going to learn from different perspectives and different backgrounds. And that's where that power comes from in culture. A really powerful team that feels like a family. Being able to share the spotlight. It's not always about us. It's about them. And that's really what culture is all about. Thank you so much.
Incredible job, Stephanie. I love her leadership, and I love the culture that she's developed on